So where do we start? Or who starts? I mean,
Oh, that's me.
oh yeah.
Do you want me to start now? Do you want me to go straight in for the intro? No silly chat
Maybe
first?
Maybe we should try that for once. Just do the intro.
Hello and welcome to episode 81 of the No.1 Crude Mistakes podcast with myself, Glenn, from No.1 Projects, K.J. from Crude but Efficient, and Haavard from Behind the Mistakes. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, a little bit
Sorry
late to the
about
party there, Haavard.
Yeah.
So, guys, how you doing?
Great, I think.
Yeah. Sliding into summer like it's 1971. Not sure what that means, but
That's a reference. I don't get it. I don't think you do either.
I have no idea what I just said, but I'm sticking to it. But yeah, it's the birds are chirping and the mood is lifting. How?
Yeah, and you see flowers here and there as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely nicer working for me at the moment since the weather's been nice the past couple of weeks. It really does make a difference to my mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have noticed. It's a very upbeat WhatsApp group at the moment. Birds chirping in the background, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn's got really the video production on a roll as well.
Oh, yes.
A video a week, is it? The post?
It has been, yeah.
Is he going to keep that up until the autumn?
It's very, very unlikely, KJ. Very, very unlikely. No, so I think it's just a motivation thing. When you're motivated to make a particular thing, you know, when you're in our situation, you think you might as well film it. And then you end up with a video, don't you? I mean, I don't spend as long editing as you do, KJ, so...
Yeah.
You know, I film it, it cracked out in 2 or 3 hours, and that's that.
They were shorter and sweeter, I must admit. But
yeah, the thinner one was definitely shorter.
that was a landscape short.
Well, that was not the intended project. So the intended project was to turn a pot thinly, which I did. I turned like a honey pot shape.
Yeah.
And I turned it really, really thin.
Yeah.
And then the next step was to carve a little thing on the outside, and I decided to go for fern leaves, fronds, on the outside of the pot. And I should have learnt last time I tried to carve. Carving is not something I'm capable of.
Did you ruin the pot?
I fucked that right up.
So that's why the video was a bit short.
And so I thought, I'll just turn another pot and I'll just see how thin I can turn it before I lose confidence, basically. So I got it down to 1.5 millimeters in the end, and yeah, quite pleased with the results of the video as well. It didn't do too badly.
Yeah, but it is proper thin.
Just proper thin. I didn't promise anything else from the video.
No, it was delivered.
Yeah.
Do you still have it? Has it cracked or anything?
No, it hasn't cracked actually. You know, Ultrawoody, the guy that you two met recently via the internet.
Met in.
Yeah. Well, he messaged on my video and said you should wet it and then it will go on misshapen. So I filmed me dropping it in some boiling water and leaving it for an hour, and then I took it out the boiling water and it just dried and retained its shape perfectly. So that didn't make a video either. But yeah, it's all good. But you got a video out the same time as I did that one, KJ?
Yeah.
The long-awaited, year in the making.
Years in the making, I would say. Yeah. So glad to have it be done with it. I mean, I've almost forgotten it at this point. Yeah, it was good to have it done.
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't going into that video thinking that it was going to interest me, especially at 30 minutes long, because you know my attention span's not great. But I watched the whole thing, and I found it very interesting all the way through. Yeah, that was really good.
Glad to hear it. And I haven't gotten any errata comments saying that everything I do is wrong, so that's a plus, I guess. But I mean, it started out having the worst retention of any video I've made, but it picked up slowly, so it's at like 18%. So I mean, it's not something for everyone, but
Yeah, well, it's never going to be, was it? But
no.
I think it's. I thought it was interesting. You look really, really genuinely worried when it all got a little bit warm around the battery area there.
Yeah, I had some fun with it as well. I mean, it was very much a learning experience. I mean, I went in with it. A part of it was thinking, well, how much power does battery tools actually draw? Because it doesn't say, like on a corded drill or something like that, it says like 700 watts or something like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say that at least not on my battery tools. So I didn't. How many amps do they actually draw? Maybe you can get away with having some thin wired thing. And then I tried it. Nope, this one is this is not good at all. So and all the things about the battery safety thing, that it bricks itself after 3 failed attempts.
Yeah.
I didn't know that when I started out this journey.
Say, it was really interesting. It was a big school day for everybody, I think.
A big school day for everyone. Yes.
What was the breakdown on the cost, KJ, for fixing a battery?
I mean that I would say that solely depends on what you pay for the batteries that you replace them with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you try to buy those new, they cost like 10 quid or something like that each, at least.
The boards?
No, the battery cells.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And you need at least 5, maybe 10. So that's going to be a bit costly, perhaps.
Of course, yeah.
But I got them used, so I paid like £1 each for them.
Oh, okay.
So then it's really cost effective. So I think that's the main thing, if it's worth your while or not. But yeah, I don't think I will be messing around that much with batteries. Well, as I said in the video, I will keeping a close eye on those that I fixed and see if something looks fishy with them, and maybe not put them through the toughest use. But yeah, it was not fun learning experience.
Certainly not something you'll leave on charge overnight, then.
No, definitely not. But it was fun. But it is really a pain editing something where you have lots of talky bits. You can hear some parts in the background, thumping in the background. That's my kids in the living room over the workshop dancing around. Can you please stop playing around and having fun? I'm trying to record a video here. Can you just sit still and watch your tablets instead? You can't really say that.
Don't be kids for half an hour so I can do my thing. Yeah.
That isn't really kosher. No.
I was filming the other day and had to reshoot a scene because somebody used the downstairs loo, and the downstairs loo has a macerator and pump on it. So when anybody uses it and you flush it, it goes. That was going on in the background.
Yeah, for a split second, every time I have some kind of disturbance audio in a video, I think, okay, can I use this in a way? I see it more or less like a improv prompt, but often it's just I get distracted and then I have to reshoot it instead.
I mean, do you get some sensors that indicates water in a pipe from the outside? Because I have that as well. All the water from the first floor is then routed down the main pipe, and that is going in a channel that's inside my workshop. So, of course, I'm filming late in the night, and then my wife goes to take a shower, and you can really hear it because that channel is not insulated. But what if I just had a sensor there and one of those rotating bulbs and an alarm, so like every time someone goes to the bathroom, it's like oh, and a red light going and bathroom alert.
Well, you don't need
Number
to
two
go.
is coming.
You don't need to go electric with the sensor, do you? You could just drill a hole in the pipe.
Oh, not only audiovisual, but also, yeah. Ooh, no. Well, that's the fun part. I think we talked about that, but of course, I also have a drain in the garage floor, and it's connected to the same pipe. And of course, right after the plumbers put it in, I have never spilled anything. And of course, it was in the middle of the summer, and the water lock dried out. So one day, I went down to the workshop, and God damn it, it smells poopy in here.
Yep.
Did I go in here 5 minutes and go and fart and then leave again without remembering? Am I getting that old? And no. And then I realized, yes, it's coming from the drain. So I just had to fill it up with a cup of water, and it went away.
I remember that episode, actually. You were talking about having to mix concrete and do all sorts of work, weren't you?
Yeah,
Maybe you should replace a part of the pipe in your workshop with some plexiglass pipe, so it's see-through, so they can just have a visual detection.
Yeah.
Just have a webcam on it. Maybe it's money into that. What's flowing in my pipes.com.
Oh. You can get drain cameras, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
And having one being flushed with whatever's. Yeah, it's definitely money in that, but it's a very niche market.
I don't know about you guys, but as YouTubers, when you're filming everything, you're always looking for that interesting angle, aren't you?
That's some intense B-roll. How can you build up to? Yeah. Yeah, moving on.
How did you? Yeah, let's move on. On.
You had a second video as well.
I did have a second video, yes.
But that was a bit more interesting, if I may say so, than the thin one.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes. I enjoyed the dust collector much more than the turn one.
Yeah, I've had this idea in my head before for a long time now that you often see people make sanding boards, don't you? With basically it's a box with a holy lid on it.
Yeah, downdraft table.
Yeah, which draws the sawdust in as you're sanding. And I just thought it'd be really good to make one for the lathe, because every time I sand on the lathe, the whole workshop gets covered in a fine layer of dust. And I thought I could buy an air cleaner, but that it's £200, or I could just use the materials and connect it up to the vac I've already got in for free. So that's what I did at the end of the day. Made a nice little dust collector, which works very well. But I did have a little bit of a problem with the laser with that one. So I decided to cut the front of the dust extractor out of acrylic, and decided to use the laser rather than just drilling basic holes in it to cut the stuff out. And it set it going. It got 6 hours to go. It was a very slow cut.
That is a lot of time.
Then it got 3.5 hours in, and the computer got bored and decided to update itself. Luckily, it was just enough to still. It's cut enough to make the dust extractor still work. So yeah, it's all turned out well in the end. But yeah, even the computer got bored with the whole sequence of events.
That's what I love about the 3D printer, because the computer just compiles all the whatnot and just send it to the printer, and then it doesn't communicate with the printer during the process.
Brilliant.
Other than it can get pictures and so on, but if your computer crashes, then the printer is none the wiser. It just continues printing.
Do you have the same problem with your CNC if it stops halfway through, restarting it from where it left off?
I have not found any option for that in the software that came with it. So, I mean, if the power goes out or the computer crashes or whatever, then that's a very expensive fire brick.
Yeah, I've tried restarting projects a couple of times, and the laser always picks a different point to start doing the same project in right from the beginning. And I've never figured out how to restart it, so it is a big problem, really.
What I can do, of course, as long as you have enough of the original surface, I have the tool that sets the Z height. So that is easily fixed, and then I can put in a very pointy drill or a CNC bit, and I can find the corner where I started. So I can set the coordinate system roughly, unless I'm making something that's really going to fit into something else, because you might get it a half a millimeter off or something. But that I can do, but I can't really tell it to skip 5 hours ahead. So if I had a job for 6-7 hours and it failed after 4, I could find a starting point, but I had to start the program all over again, and then it'd have to just pretend cutting in thin air for 4 hours before it reaches wood again. So it's that's a bit boring.
You're really selling the concept of robots here.
Yeah.
I feel great not having any of them.
When they work, they do a much nicer job. That's the thing. Yeah, the way the laser cuts acrylics, worth having it for, but maybe not for those really long projects. Or maybe break them down into segments. That's probably the best way to do it. So what about you, Haavard? What have you been up to? Have you been dicking, mate?
Oh, what have I not done?
Not made a video.
No, not made a video. I've filmed a lot making a video. I've been working on the side table. And that is boring as shit. And that's a good sign, isn't it? When you know the video is boring while you're filming it. So I'm not looking forward to the edit. But yeah, the table is coming along nicely. I did cut some leather that's going to go on top, and I did a lot of measurement and back and forth. Of course, I filmed myself rambling on because it's a big piece of really proper leather. So I mean, if you do anything wrong there, you're just sitting with scraps. You can use it for other things, but you don't want to ruin it.
This piece of leather you bought in for the project?
No, this is something I bought years ago, which I've been cutting pieces off for several projects. I think I bought it for bookbinding, actually. But yeah, I cut the piece and it fits beautifully. And now I learned that you also can switch it around and use an iron to get out the kinks and whatnot. So that's going to be the next project. And then I just have to put it on and oil the wood, and I have a table. A very boring table. I mean, it's a beautiful table in my eyes and practical for what I built it for, but it's going to be the most boring video of 2025, that's for sure.
Well, maybe the project will speak for itself, Haavard, and it'll do well just because the project's so nice.
Yeah. Or maybe I should do the shortest video on YouTube ever. I made a table, ta-da! Then just spin it twice around the spinning table, whatnot, and then yeah, that was it.
Or just lean into it and make the most boring voiceover and the most boring transitions and make it a really boring video.
I could be my own worst enemy. I can be all the mean comments live. Yeah.
That might be an interesting take on it, actually.
Yeah. I'll just edit it. That's the hardest thing, because I have to get through the very boring edit and being angry. And then I have to get drunk to do the voiceover.
Roast yourself.
Yeah. That's going to be a...
Oh, you should get really drunk and do that. That would be hilarious.
Maybe I should bring you along. How do you set that up? Seeing a video, I can share it in this app, and I can record. I only need this, so we can do a live roast before we put it up.
You can post it on YouTube as a private one and just share the link to us too.
Yeah.
That's how I got Steve to do the music for the last one. That seemed the easiest option. After Michelle told me that was the easiest option, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, but I'm not sure I could roast your video. I mean, it wouldn't feel right.
I'll have a few beers. I'll be all right.
Exactly.
Get a Guinness down you, KJ.
I just be sleepy.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Hasn't resulted in any videos. I can also announce to our listeners that I'm not getting a lathe anytime soon. Had the car at the garage, and they found the leak, and it was so much into the depth of the car that I might just as well change the timing belt and water pump and whatnot. And of course, it needs its biannual MOT to be roadworthy by the end of June, and they also came with a list of some other things that needed to be done. And I think the total, including what I paid to get them to figure out what was wrong, £6,500 That's 2.5 of that lathe I want.
What would a replacement car cost?
I only spent $8,000 on my van.
You know, that's my lathe and the laser I want. But I mean, I need a car, and of course, some of the work I can do myself. So I'll end up paying a bit over a third of that, I think. And still, of course, they made all the assumption that it is this and that. When they start taking it apart, they might find other issues. So yeah, but that's the problem. I still have a year and a half left on the car finance, and of course, getting a new one. I did check that, and it's still worth more than that. But that being said, if it was paid down, I would look into alternatives or yeah.
It'd probably be a write-off, wouldn't it? It's not a new car, is it?
No, it's 10 year this year. But it is nice and everything works and it's comfy and so on. So it would feel bad. And it's nice having a car that's, of course, written down. And I mean, then all the major expenses is to come, of course. But then it's your car and it's just maintenance, basically.
Hopefully.
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do the next 3 months.
Cry.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have an electric bike, so you don't need a car.
I do. Yeah.
Imagine the messages we'll get every morning of Haavard biking to work, swearing on those Norwegian
halfway to work and the electricity ran out.
Yeah. That's a problem, though. I don't think it will reach my work on one battery. At least not at the speed and power that I want.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, that's sad.
So then, of course, I post. Then I thought maybe I should just build myself a car. And then I posted on the Instagram account yesterday. I have. Since last spring, I've had that huge hot water tank that I skinned down to the bare metal.
Oh yeah.
And then the question is, it looks like a Minion. Should I make it into a Minion or should I make a barrel car? The Minion won.
Oh.
Also without me voting for that twice myself, because I also control 2 accounts.
Yeah, that was the tighter vote than I thought it would be.
Yeah. And I was pleased about that. I thought the car would win for sure, and then I'm going to toss that on the skip because I never intended building that. I have another car engine 2-stroke project coming up, so I thought maybe I should do something artsy, and then I just searched for Minions, and then I found like this cyberpunk one, so could I make it like the Terminator, where the metal part comes out with a red eye and something. And I just realized I have a 3D printer now, so I can make all the small intricate parts and just glue them on and then just spray Bondo over it and just have fun trying to use all those technique, making things look old, beaten and weathered and just not having any other goal than just to make it look like something.
You're going to put a red light in there as well, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, and I have some flamethrower as well, so it needs to have a grill teeth something, so you can just press a button and
With it being a minion, it'd probably be more appropriate it came out the back end.
That is true. And that's going to happen because on the back side or the front side of the... I mean, you have where the safety valve is, and that is exactly where the butthole of a minion would be. So, yeah, it's going to fart flames.
Brilliant.
So then,
Or have it pissing fire, perhaps. Don't know where it's been.
yeah, or both.
Yeah, but farting is better. It's fun for everyone.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
True.
And then, of course, having it remote controlled, having it out in the garden, as soon as someone walks by, just click.
Okay, but that's the thing, though. I decided that, I mean, it has the basic shape, but I kind of wondered, how does the feet of a minion look? So I went and, yeah. And I think I can 3D print the feet at a proportional size with the printer that I got. And then I can just make it as a shell, of course, and I can fill them with concrete to give it some extra weight and stability. And then, of course, you just put a threaded rod in so that you could actually just drill 2 holes under the tank and just thread a nut on. And that got me thinking, though, because it has the hole on the top where you have the heating element or the regulator valve or whatever. I'm no plumber. But could you bring it to somewhere in the middle of the night on the roadside? And as we talked about earlier, it's a 200-300 liter one, so you can fit quite the amount of concrete in it. So if anyone finds it, they're going to try to nick it or run it over, and they are in for a huge surprise. If you try to lift it, you're going to throw out your back. And if someone is trying like, oh, I'm going to take that with the door of my car, good luck.
I think if I was going to make a Terminator minion that breathed and farted fire and had a red glowing eye, it'd definitely be a garden ornament for me.
Yeah.
Be a way to clear the snow on the driveway.
And of course, yeah, that would have been cool. And I looked into, it would have been cool to put it on tracks and make it radio controlled, just like a minion Wally. Of course. But then I realized buying tracks with motors, even on AliExpress, that's expensive. So I'm not going to spend that. And I did look into some used snow blowers on tracks. You can get those relatively cheap, but then again, it's not an art project anymore. It's not about getting the details and make it look steampunky. Then it's going to be like getting it to work, and then I can't throw it away later. So no, I'm going to make it into something I'm comfortable dumping at the roadside somewhere. And of course, if I use a bit of pink and blue colors as well and just slap a Nerdforge logo on it, nobody's going to suspect me because I live in an area where that is highly plausible.
So that's your latest scheme of getting to know them.
Else. There's some publicity about. Just blame me. I'm quite happy to have it.
Oh, it's gonna have this minion is gonna have like a lower back, a tramp stamp, and it's gonna say Glenn was here, and some tribal and a butterfly and a rose, just to top it off.
Sounds excellent. Where is this on the list of projects then? Oh,
yeah, I think it's up there because it doesn't have a time frame and it's going to be just fun. And it has to be done in summer because, of course, I peeled off all the insulation, and I wish I didn't do because I should just have peeled some of it off, because the part that is not metal, I have to cover up again with something so I can paint that yellow and put the dungaree trousers on and so on. And so I have to do, I think it's going to be like construction foam on 2/3 of it, and then you have to sand that down, and that's an outdoor job. because I'm not sanding down that stuff in my workshop. So
Yeah. It's funny when you're this part of the year, you have to revise the project list, because I mean I've sorted out my projects in winter and summer, indoors and outdoors, and now it's actually you can do outdoors projects again. So all those projects that have been on the back burner for a while, it's time to mix them into the list as well. So
it seems like when the sun starts shining, KJ, you want to be Glenn.
Yes,
You go
that
out
is a
gardening.
definite problem. I mean, this Sunday I was more or less. I went grocery shopping in the morning and changed the tires on the car, but then I was cosplaying Glenn for the rest of the day. It was great.
It's funny because when I've done my day's work, all I want to do is get inside on the weekend. I just want to be in.
yeah,
Just think of it as you're cosplaying me and Haavard when you're sitting behind the computer and swearing at stuff not working.
that's the thing, though. I mean, Glenn is not a person as much as it is a state of mind, I guess, because I've been channeling my inner Glenn as well. And next Thursday and Friday, I have rented a mini excavator, and I'm going to do a lot of ruining the garden, basically. And one of the jobs is to clean up and expand the place where we have like was it patio or terrace? Decking, yeah.
Or digging, as we decided it was called.
My big deck. My deck has seen better times, so I thought I'd give it some rejuvenation. And I need a mini excavator. And of course, before that, I need to remove the old one. And I got help of my brother and father-in-law here the other day to just tear up the old one. So now it's a big brown gaping hole in our yard, and of course it's dusty and it is crappy, and of course the kids love it. It's a big sandbox and they're dragging everything in, so we need to get that deck up as soon as possible. I can't even think if it's going to rain for a couple of days. How's that going to look? So I've been drawing, planning, and making a material list, and it's going to be expensive. Who knew? And then I also got to think, because I've been reading literature and the building code and whatnot, and of course, yes, you should have an inclined slope. You should put down gravel for drainage, and then you should put a mat on, and then more gravel, and you should compress that, and you should. It's a huge job. But then I realized it's fucking dry there now. And that decking has been there for 20 to 25 years. Nothing is growing up through it. There is no moisture, any problem at all. So why should I over-engineer it when it has proved that it worked as is for 25 years? And some of the materials that had been close to the ground were still good. And today you get these plastic adjustable feet that you can use. So all I have to do, I just have to put out some slabs and put out these, basically put the girders on and just level them off, and then just put the decking on. And that's going to be better than it ever was. And it has proved to work for 25 years. So why overcomplicate it? And I've been thinking back and forth of that the couple of last days, and I realized that, I'm going to do that. I mean, it's probably going to last longer than we're going to live here, so then it's someone else's problem.
Yeah, that'd be a fun build. However many screws you think you need, though, to screw the deck boards down, triple it.
Yeah. And I did that the last time as well. I kept buying more and more screws. Some days I went twice to the hardware store. But then, of course, you end up having 2 boxes left, which I still do, but it's nice to have for projects. So, just buy a lot of deck screws, because, I mean, you're going to use them eventually sometime anyway.
It is nice to have a few outdoor screws in stock just in case, isn't it? Just in case you want to put a screw outside. hang a bird box or something.
In anything. I mean, yeah. So that's the plan. All the summer projects, and of course, I need to change some skirting boards on the house. I think they're called skirting boards. I don't know. I don't care. And then of course you should do some painting and whatnot. And the list is long. I made a checklist, and oh my god. So it's a 20. I think it's a 4-year list, but of course, as any decent maker, I'm planning on doing it this summer, and I'm gonna get a quarter done.
You're gonna start all of them.
Yeah,
Finish none of
exactly.
them.
Yeah, I'm gonna start all of them, and then my wife is gonna be angry at me for not finishing anything, and then the circle continues.
I've got a pergola to build outside and a new deck. Let's rip up my old deck as well. And Michelle keeps saying, "You're going to get this done before KJ comes to see us, aren't you?" It's like KJ's coming for one night. We'll just keep the curtains to the back garden closed.
That won't stop me. Can't visit Glenn without seeing his garden.
I'm not spending any time tidying it up for you.
No. I want a genuine experience.
You'll see a gardener's garden.
Yeah.
Some very interesting plants, all neglected.
Yeah, we're also having a pergola to build. A garage pergola, I think you call it. Yeah, something to have over the car.
A porch.
No, porch. Not a porch. Because at least in my mind, a porch has
we call it a carport. It's a garage without walls.
That also have a proper. It has a proper roof, and we can't build that where we want it because it's too close to the property line, and it's a council's ground on the other side, and they will never allow it. So we're going to build a pergola instead.
Okay.
And you mean that's the lot? That's the death hazard for anyone that you could buy to relieve them of the responsibility of it killing someone with all the trees falling down?
Yeah.
Yes.
You should buy it because then you can put up a proper garage.
Yeah,
double one with a workshop. Come on.
Yeah, if we had the extra spending money, I would definitely look into that. But yeah, we're going to build a pergola. That's been the plan for a couple of years, and now it's time to actually do it. But when you started talking about renting a mini excavator, I kind of jokingly, kind of not, said, maybe we should get one. And Sophie didn't say no instantly. So then I thought about it, and this Sunday when I was working in the garden, I think, this could be good digging out, and this could be, and you can lift those rocks, and here we could do some digging.
Please let me say you have rented one for next Thursday and Friday, so we can be excavator buddies, and we can have hands-free on, and we can just keep pestering Glenn with messages.
No, but I have been looking at like all the auction sites on where you can buy one. And when I mentioned it to Sophie, she said, "This is going to happen, isn't it? I can't talk you out of it." Well, you didn't say no the instant I mentioned it, so it's basically on you. But yeah, no, I haven't rented one and I haven't bought one yet. But I am very much looking into the market and seeing what price ranges there are and that sort of thing. So,
have either one of you got experience using one?
Yeah,
tiny bit.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I rented one plenty for myself and others. So yeah, and it's all fun. I'm all for buying one. I can't do that myself because I would end up digging up the entire world. And then of course people say, "Yeah, but you can just buy it and you can rent it out to people." Yeah,
no.
You're having a hard time just lending a drill from me, and you think I'm gonna give away an excavator to untrained professionals and then having to fix it afterwards?
Yeah,
nope.
Fixing hydraulic hoses and pulling it out of holes that they've got it stuck in.
Yeah.
But I mean, the second-hand market seems really good though, because there's a lot of people. Yeah, I'm selling it after 2 or 3 years because my projects are done. But I think that
You're thinking of project, right? I can use it to dig, and once I'm done, I can make a death-eating, ball-swinging metal chainsaw on tracks. Yeah,
I mean that's the thing. One when do you think you're done with it? I have done all the digging I want to do. And then, do I want to sell it and get my money back? Or do I want to build a Mad Maxian cool death machine thing to ride around in instead? Decisions.
Do it, KJ.
yeah, but I mean, one of the projects we want to do is to build terrace walls. How do you say it? Yeah, stone walls, like 3 of them in a terrace shape, just to get rid of a big slope that's it's just ugly.
Yeah.
And that would require a lot of digging, and to get the contractor in to do it, that would cost a fair bit of money. So, I mean, taking that budget and just getting the machinery yourself, that makes it a lot more reasonable. And then you don't have to do the hassle of trying to find a builder that you trust and that will do a number on your garden, that sort of thing.
Seems like a no-brainer, KJ. You should just buy one.
And the question is, how cheap do you want to be? Because, I mean, you can buy the really crappy ones for next to no money, but, I mean, they will function after that price. Or you can spend a lot of money and get something really professional, but that is a lot of money, and that's not fun either.
I mean, given how much you like cars and working on them, I would like to find a middle ground there, because the cheaper one, then, of course, you get to do a lot of welding. You like that, of course, but yeah, then it's all the hydraulic things and valves and other things that break. That is not as fun. And then, of course, you also need to buy a trailer to put it on, to haul it around.
Yeah.
In case someone in Norway want to lend it for a weekend or something like that. So yeah.
just drive it over to Norway.
Yeah, actually, it was one of them that on an auction site I found, and I mean that was like a stone throw to Oslo, more or less, just on the other side of the border, more or less. And like, okay, it's a 4.5-hour drive to go and get it.
Yeah.
Then I could pop over to
150 hours back on it.
Yeah. It's probably never going to happen, but I am dreaming at the moment. I'm dreaming.
I think you'll find with the really cheap ones, it's probably just hoses that are going to be knackered, and it's going to feel a bit looser when you use it.
Yeah,
not quite as accurate, but I think it'll probably be fine just for doing one project on your garden. I mean, I did my driveway outside and needed a cement mixer, and bought a cement mixer off Facebook Marketplace for 40 quid, and it literally died on the last slab, which was just perfect. And then I just left it out for the scrap metal man, and it's gone.
I think many of them, and I have no clue what I'm talking about here, of course, so I'm just guessing, is that many of them who has not been used by a professional company or something, they don't have 1 million hours on them, and they are made for renting out and so on. So I'm suspecting that they've turned down the hydraulics because they are really not very powerful. Of course, you can tweak that on some of them, I know. But then, of course, it's basically hoses and then the tracks. The tracks tend to get knackered and brittle over time. And that's also the problem, because the cost of new tracks is significant on some of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can get a decent one, but then you have to buy tracks, and that's like half the cost of what you paid buying it. And I mean, if you lose the tracks on one of those, they are kind of useless.
Yeah. And then you have the thing as well, that I don't know a lot about these kind of things. So I don't instantly know, is this a known brand or is this something weird? Because you get some of those that are like, hey, it's been driven 4 hours. It's a demo machine. Mm-hmm. But it's, I've never heard of this brand before, and you try to Google it, and it basically doesn't exist. Is this something someone brought in from China? Just the only one in Europe, perhaps?
Okay, first of all of them are built in China. So
but
then that's that. And you, I mean, it's a tool, right? So now you get to, like, all right, I need a track saw. What track saw do I want? And you're doing research and you're looking at YouTube videos. Now you can do the same. And I did that on the last one I rented. Of course, I was working in a slope and I just twisted the tracks off, and I didn't want to call the guy and tell him that I did that. And I also wanted it to work, so I could not wait. So I went on YouTube, and how do you change track on? All right, you have to lift it up and you loosen that and some oil. And yeah, I had to go and get that, but I got it on by myself. So I'm pleased I learned something new as well. So I mean, you get a tool and you get a learning experience. You get a lot of new knowledge about a new field you do not know anything about. I mean, this is a win-win. It's basically an investment. You heard it here first, Sophie. So, yeah.
It sounds like time is going to be my biggest cost in this, perhaps.
Have you started your next project yet, KJ? Are you sewing or are you droiding?
Yes, I have been doing some tests and props for my next videos and writing scripts and just getting ready for them. And now it's just been actually starting, and unfortunately, work has been rather busy at the moment. So I haven't had that much free time and free energy, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully I will start soon.
And which one are you going for? The robot or the sewing?
I mean, as soon as I think now I'm going to start Project A, then Project B starts screaming really loudly, "Pick me, pick me, pick me!" So it's rough at the moment in that case. But I mean, the T-shirt one will be a lot quicker, so that talks for that one. But the robot one will have more interesting parts and more problem solving because I've solved all the other problems already. Mm-hmm. So that's more interesting, but also more challenging. So it's it's.
And that was the thing
about
the minion. Then I just realized, all right, should we have a droid along next time? Because I'm starting to feel that I don't hate lamps as I still hate lamps, but I'm warming up to the long idea again.
Nope.
Glenn isn't doing anything.
No. Yeah, we could do a guest appearance at a convention of some sort. I mean, yeah, minions are in Star Wars, right? Or was it? Yeah,
they could be. Yeah. They could very well be. No one would bat an eye on that. Yeah, but I've been also working on my Maker Swap thingy for Maker Central. That is something I'm making off camera, so to say, which is really nice. Just to have something to, because it's a lengthy but simple project, so to say. It's going to take a while, so I just can pick it up and do a little of it and put it down, and doesn't have to think about, should I film this for continuity? Yeah, whatever. Or anything. And it is really nice to have a project like that as well.
Nice. Any hints?
It's a combination of fabric and wood.
Okay. Deck chair.
Oh, Jesus. It wasn't that funny. Lost my headphones there. Yes, that's definitely something I could take in my suitcase.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be full size, KJ.
I think it was full blown funny because I had a picture from that chair scene in that movie. What's it called? Burnt After Reading. Yeah, go and watch that one, and deck chair is gonna give a whole new meaning.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, but trust your judgment.
But should the podcast make? Should we make something collectively as a podcast for the Maker Swap?
Like we did last year.
Should we? Yeah, but that was one thing. Here you're gonna swap with someone,
and I made it.
Yeah. Glenn can do something.
For us all.
I mean, he's afraid to show his face at Maker Central officially, so he can be the podcast.
Yeah. As long as he gets some badges, then he's happy.
Have they messaged yet? Is Belanyard ready, Haavard?
I realized that they sent the second message. It's obvious that it's like they send it out to a lot of people at once. It's not tailored to you, but I got the second message. So are you joining us this year? And like, oh, sorry, I'm not. And then, of course, the question I got was long and several sentences, and the answer was, "Oh, okay, that's okay." So it's like we didn't expect you to answer. It's just like.
And was it the podcast Instagram they messaged, or you personally? If you told them we're all not going, because I want my podcast lanyard.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. I think. Yeah.
You were still on the list last time I looked on the website. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, they're using me for all I'm worth, which is not much. They need space filler on that page, but yeah.
Yeah, they heard that you had one fan the last year, so
Yeah,
they want that guy
again,
back.
Yeah. So I got some new tools at the weekend, which was nice.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, yes, you did.
I did.
And why did you get those new tools?
Guess I had a little birthday.
A little one.
Yeah, just a tiny one.
Yeah, nothing to.
No, just over 40.
But still under 60.
Yeah, smack bang in the middle. Yeah, I turned 50 at the weekend and got some most excellent presents. So I got a
cane.
Nice cane, a Zimmer frame, mobility scooter. I would love a mobility scooter.
Yeah, we did send you a picture of one. Was it not Steel that had one, or was it? Yeah.
I mean, you have a ride on lawnmower, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't have a ride on, actually. My customers do, though.
Okay. You're too fancy to have your own.
I'm not fancy enough to have my own.
Might be that, yeah. So, tell us about the tools.
I got a sharpening system, record power sharpening system for sharpening chisels and stuff. So all those lovely chisels I got at Christmas time, I can now sharpen and use again.
Nice.
Because they've kind of been out of action since I used them the first time and blunted them. But they look great in the cabinet still.
That's the most important.
Yeah. They got an apron, a leather apron.
Ooh, those are nice.
A canvas apron, actually, but it's got leather tags on it and instantly engraved my logo on that.
Still nice.
Yeah, and
you call it apron, don't you? But it was chaps. Just be honest.
just leg coverings. When I'm shoeing horses.
I mean, that's what you need with a lathe, isn't it? You don't need it to cover anywhere else.
We discussed this the other day. What you need is one of those plastic baby bibs with a collector at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then some sort of
collector at the bottom. I think that was not what I was envisioning, but yeah, sure.
You know what I mean.
That would bring a different image than I had in my head, but yeah. That I know where the house goes.
I think one of those plastic bibs would work great for the lathe. Get most of the chip-ins. Moving on. And then I also got surprised a little bit later on with some Turgworks merchandise.
Yeah.
So Michelle had bought me the first scribe he made and the marking knife.
Yeah, it was really nice. I saw the pictures over at the Gram.
From the Instagram. We're all the cool 50-year-olds hanging out.
Yeah. We're the cool old geezers.
So now you just have to make a throwing knife target.
Yes. Yeah, it's sharp at both ends. But yeah, no, it's just a bits for those. That was all the makery stuff I got, which was really nice.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
Almost worth turning 50 for.
Almost.
Almost.
I think I got the. Of course, I'm not turning a round number, but I'm having my birthday coming up soon, and it's a public holiday, and of course it is where it now is natural to also include it in a long weekend. So I just got the message from the family, and yeah, by the way, we we are going away to the cabin for that weekend. So yeah, sorry about that. And they don't realize that that's the greatest gift I could ever want. Everyone just going away. There's no cake, there's no coffee. I don't have to be social. I can be at home in the workshop, and
You can have cake and coffee by yourself. It's the best kind of cake and coffee.
And I will.
You can be in the workshop in your pants drinking gin all day.
Yeah, eating
it's
cake.
a fucking dream.
Butt naked. Yeah, I'm going to live
You just have to put on clothes when it's filming.
You don't have to.
Halfway through he forgets. And then you have a really interesting edit.
I have my second channel, so it's all good. It's all good. But that being said, on the birthday theme, of course, I never been much of a celebrator of my own. But the wife is turning a nice round number this year, and that is a lot of pressure on me then, because yeah. If anyone have any suggestions, hit me up in the DMs. No, I'm just I have an idea, and I can't. In the off chance that she's listening to this episode as the first one ever, I can't really say what I've planned, but I have some plans, but it involves other people having to also put some arrangements in place. So it's like, it's a bit too early, but you can't be too late, and you have to be a bit sneaky about it. And then, of course, you can't mention that to some of them because they don't have the gene of sneakiness in them. So, yeah. That makes it kind of fun, though. Just making something for someone else, not knowing it. Yeah, I've done it once before with questionable outcome, so I think it might be better this time.
When Michelle turned a big round number, I promised her that I would take her to see the Northern Lights, probably in Norway or somewhere like that. And then COVID hit, so I never had to follow through on that one.
Yeah,
you just need a pandemic to get you out of it. You'll be fine.
Man, I mean, then you can do it in a few years when you reach 30. I mean, yeah, there's still time. Yeah.
That did not make it sound good. So are you trying to get a kick in the butt to actually do something about it by talking about this openly?
Oh shit, I didn't think of that.
So when you're coming over?
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask Welsh Thomas. This is a great stop on the way to go north in Sweden.
Well, it should be cheaper now, shouldn't it? Now I've got friends that way. You two, just send her over on the road, cut costs. You can stop with K.J. and Haavard. It'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Take Linda with you, and I'll drink gin in the workshop naked.
I mean, it might not be birthday worthy, depending on how high standards you have, but it would be lovely, nice to have you visiting.
Yeah.
So you're always welcome.
Yeah.
See you the weekend.
Yeah. Or next weekend. Then I'll have an excavator. Huh?
Ooh, I'm there. I'm in.
Then again, you just have to do your normal work, so maybe not.
I don't spend much time on the digger nowadays. It's all good.
Yeah, but that's kind of okay because I'm going to be running the digger, but I need someone to prune the hedge and.
Yeah, if you're going to be a proper digger, you need someone with a shovel in the pit as well, doing the small bits, and then you just point and growl. Yeah,
you'll need a groundsman. Yeah, you make a good groundsman. Oh, should we call this an episode and move on to the half pint?
I think it is one.
And I'll edit all that stuff out that we just spoke about.
Oh, yeah, you're doing the edit, so that's why you can talk so freely. Who controls the files? I wonder. Who can make a little reel?
The dirty secret, the half pint.
All right, shut up now, guys.
All
Bye.
Bye.